The Toyo Tyres MSA British Rallycross Championship is ready for the Supercar Final here at Croft in glorious sunshine, and Andy Scott lines up on pole position alongside former champion Ollie O'Donovan, Steve Hill for company. Julian Godfrey, multiple champion, and newcomer Mark Higgins on row 2 ahead of Steve Mundy and Mad Mark, the local hero, on row 3. 6 laps ahead of us, the grid is formed. Who is going to triumph here? The drivers look towards the lights, which in a moment will blink green to unleash the cars. Now, great start made by Ollie O'Donovan. He's going to just nose through into the lead of the race. Steve Hill has made a great start as well. The Mitsubishi ahead on the outside. He's going to run out of road, though, I fear. There's a really sideways Higgins who goes wide into the dirt. And actually, Steve Hill comes out of the gravel ahead. Steve Hill on the outside line just has the advantage. Ollie O'Donovan tries to force up the inside of him. They go through the chicane, and it will be O'Donovan who leads the way. He had one win last year, that was at Lyddon, and he looks to lead at Croft. Up into second place goes Andy Scott, and Steve Hill drops back into third. Julian Godfrey behind him, then Mark Higgins comes up round the outside. Godfrey was effectively the winner at Silverstone because he was the best place of those registered for points, even though it was Sebastian Loeb who was the on-the-road race winner. And Mark Higgins, remember, won at Lyddon last time out, on board with Steve Hill. Just dropping away slightly as they come across the loose onto the tarmac once more. Turning their way now out of Fairbow. There is Mark Higgins, the Manxman hustling on. Julian Godfrey clear of Mad Mark at the moment. Mad Mark Watson behind him as you go on board with Godfrey, peering through the screen, getting ever more splattered. But Julian Godfrey, a vastly experienced rallycrosser. Steve Hill slows, look round the outside of him goes Higgins. Whoa, big contact and a huge off. That is Julian Godfrey. A mighty impact straight away. The red flag flies and Mad Mark sees it all happening and turns the car around to go and assist, which is great to see. Julian Godfrey then launched into a huge roll. That's Steve Hill running across to his aid to try and get the door open, and the race is stopped. Here's the replay. Steve Hill seems to be slowing, look, and almost like he's pulling off the road. Julian Godfrey tries to go round the outside, the two touch, and that just acts as a ramp. Godfrey goes over and over. There's flame from the engine bay as well as that erupts, and a very broken Mitsubishi. On board, from Steve Hill's point of view, he's got a problem. He's slowing, look, and he's more interested in pulling off, I think. And suddenly, bang, out of nowhere, completely unsighted, I think, from Steve's point of view, Julian Godfrey arrives. And from another angle, Steve Hill loses pace. So Mark Higgins goes round the outside. Julian Godfrey seizes his opportunity, and then suddenly there's contact, and he just is a passenger over and over. Look at the flame. Massive impact. And Julian Godfrey, suspended in the belts, is okay.
I've seen a bit of stars, but I'm okay.
Steve Hill's broken car, punctured tyre damage on the front left, but the main concern is Julian Godfrey, who is out of the car to a great reception from the fans. So, red flag, a restart. There aren't going to be many takers for it, I fear, and Julian Godfrey's car certainly is not going to be on the track, nor will Steve Hill be. Andy Scott making his way up to the grid. He's arrived a bit late. Is he going to have to start at the back? Let's see. Ollie O'Donovan is the only man there on the front. Mark Higgins is the only man there on row 2. And then it's Steve Mundy and Mad Mark on the third row. And Andy Scott will start at the very back of the grid. We are ready to go racing. Can Ollie O'Donovan score victory? Engine notes rise, lights go green. It's blast off. Look at Scott weaving his way through the traffic. Straight away, he's on his toes. Down towards Clairvaux, and Steve Mundy again has trouble getting off the line as O'Donovan runs wide out of Clairvaux, but he keeps Mark Higgins at bay. Through they turn now, making the run up towards the right, left, into the chicane here. Onto the loose they come. Ollie O'Donovan leading the pack. O'Donovan looking for a first win of the season. Mark Higgins second, and Andy Scott, the team patron, around the outside of him. The Albatech boss goes wide, goes deep, and goes off the road as well. Andy Scott getting back onto the road, but time lost there. The Scallop fisherman, Andy Scott, blasts back onto tarmac, down towards Clairvaux. He's raced in the British Championship, he's raced in Europe, and Mark Higgins, still learning about Rallycross, has got more experienced people all around him, but it's been a very impressive start to his Rallycross career with that win last time out at Lyndon. On board with Scott through the chicane here. They make their way over the loose section of circuit, and Higgins on this lap is coming back at the race leader. This is his view. That's Ollie O'Donovan just up the road ahead of him. The Ford Focus drifts a little bit wide, but O'Donovan is back on the power and he drags it out of the other side of the corner. The 2007 British champion Ollie O'Donovan. He's raced in the British and European Championships, 6th last year, down towards Clairvaux. Higgins chasing on behind him. Keep the power up, keep up the momentum, throw it into the corner. Steer the car on the throttle, and then all the way around Hawthorne, back towards tarmac. Out of the chicane, through the loose. O'Donovan it is, just able to fend off Higgins, but you'll see the two cars have strengths at different parts of the circuit. Ollie O'Donovan, the London-based Irishman, leading the way, and Andy Scott closing as Higgins closes right up onto the back of O'Donovan's, fishtailing forward ahead of him. Higgins sitting in the dust now. Back on the power, over the timing line they come once again. There's Mad Mark going deep into the hairpin. So Ollie O'Donovan it is. There, Andy Scott. The reason, incidentally, he was at the back of the grid was because he had triggered a false start. So what you're seeing is actually the third attempt at running the final. And because Andy Scott was the guilty party, he was put to the back of the grid. So had it not been for that, he could be the man up front, leaving everybody else in his wake. As it is, he's trying to fight his way up from third place. O'Donovan completely sideways ahead of Higgins, who can't really squeeze up the inside of him there. The dust settles as they power their way towards the line once again. O'Donovan, though, is looking oh so strong. Higgins chases on behind. Mark Higgins' car, run by the National Centre for Motorsport Engineering up in Bolton. 3 times a British Rally champion, Mark Higgins. Mad Mark, multiple Rallycross Open champion in years gone by. And the lead battle is still well and truly joined because O'Donovan is under attack from Higgins once again. Fastest part of the circuit, this on the loose. Higgins to the outside line. He's going to run out of road, though. Can he go all the way around the outside? Both of them on the limit, down to the tarmac. O'Donovan flicks the tail of the car out as a deterrent. Scott up the curve on the inside. Higgins is throwing everything at this to try to get past O'Donovan, but he just can't quite do it as they start the last lap now. Down towards the right at Clairvaux once again. Through they turn. Ride the curve. The 3 leaders still somewhat elasticated. The gaps come down at certain points and stretch at others. This is Andy Scott's rather limited view now. It's hard, hot work inside the car on a very hot day. Higgins bouncing his way across the loose, and now they dive down towards the last corner. It's now or never. Is there a gap on the inside? No. O'Donovan in the venerable Ford Focus positions the car, gets a tap in the tail, but he's going to come out ahead, or is he? He's wide. He's just got the momentum to drag the car from the grass to the lead. Contact on the line. They hit again. Broken suspension for O'Donovan. Airborne was Higgins, but O'Donovan will be the winner. He went first over the timing beam, and so he wins despite a badly broken car at the very end. It has been a day of damage, a day of drama at Croft, none more so than that way of winning the final for Ollie O'Donovan. Mad Mark will come home without quite the same dramas in his race, but without the same pace either, disappointingly. He was much more confident at the start of the day, but the Citroën has struggled, but he will at least get to the end, and he will get points, and it's been good to see him in the final for the first time for a while. So Mad Mark makes it home. Let's look at the results. Ollie O'Donovan, the winner by 61 thousandths of a second from Mark Higgins. Andy Scott third, Mad Mark the other finisher.
Ollie, a fantastic start in the final, led from start to finish, but really close with Mark at the end, and you crossed the finish line with 3 wheels.
We were lucky, I suppose. Our game plan, we came to try and bag points. Happy with the top 3, as I said to you earlier today. I mean, the podium would have been great, and we got there. Lucky to get there. Bit of an incident coming into the last corner. Mark ran up the back, maybe a bit dusty or whatever, and took a wheel off the car, and I think we had about 100 metres to go. And we got there just by hundredths of a second, but hey-oh, still a win.
And a great result for your championship campaign, gets you right back in the thick of it.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. I mean, okay, it's a pity for Julian for his accident and all that. It'll put him back. He'll still get 6th place points, I hope. Puts us back in competition, and it also gives us the mental edge that we can be as good as the newer car.
Mark Higgins, not the easiest event for you here at Croft, but a second place finish, almost victory right at the end, and the championship lead to go with it.
Yeah, no, it's been quite a tough weekend. We've been chasing a little bit of a problem. We got it sorted for the final, and had a great start in the first part of the 2 finals, and then it was obviously red flagged. We did try at the end, very, very close, but it's ended up good set of points for us for the championship moving forward, and it was good for the team as well. Andy did a great job. As I say, he came around, woke me up a few times, and it really bodes well for going on to Silverstone for the World Round as well.
You were following your teammate Mark Higgins for the majority of the final. If it was someone else, could you have pushed a bit harder?
Yeah, I kind of tried to wake him up once, had a lunge down the side room coming into the corner, because I thought he was not really pushing hard enough, so I thought I'd get his attention on the fact that a little bit more speed could be carried into that corner. But the target was a 1-2, so we ended up with a 2-3, so it bodes good for the championship with Mark getting a second, and it's been great, and thanks to Croft for putting on a good event.
A substantial crash for Julian Godfrey after he made contact with you. Obviously you tried to get out of the way when you slowed of your issues.
Yeah, I'd slowed. My engine had died, so I was slowing, and I think Julian was already on the grass, I'm not sure, but he was on the left-hand side of me and I was on the left-hand side of the track. All I know is his front wheel hit mine and it launched him into a load of rolls.
And a credit to the quality of these supercars and the structural integrity of them that Julian was able to get out unharmed.
Yeah, it was a massive hit for him. It was a big hit, so yeah, very, very strong cars, and he's fine, that's good.
So what does all that do to the championship? The answer is that Mark Higgins leads now by 4 points. Julian Godfrey is just 2 ahead of Ollie O'Donovan. Steve Hill is 4th. A day of drama at Croft. Expect more of the same next time out as we head to Pembrey.